Welcome to the complete Boomi Bootcamp 2026, Episode 10, Introduction to EDI and Trading Partner. Our agenda for today is Introduction to EDI, Trading Partner Management, Trading Partner, AS2 Client, and next steps. Introduction to EDI. What is EDI? EDI stands for Electronic Data Interchange. Electronic. No paper. Think of an email. Data. There are digital business documents, purchase orders, order responses, dispatch advices, invoices, and many more. Interchange. Documents are sent and received back and forth. On the left side, we have a company A. On the right side, we have company B. Company A now sends a purchase order to company B. Company A then receives an order response from company B. The ladder represents the EDI format used here. The truck symbolizes the EDI transport protocol. There are many EDI formats and several EDI transport protocols. Here are two examples of each. First example, ANSI X12 and OFTP2. Second example, EDIFACT and AS2. And here is an example how an EDIFACT orders file can look like. And here is an example for an AS2 communication protocol. Trading Partner Management. You can access Trading Partner Management via Manage, Trading Partner Management. There you will find two tabs, Trading Partners and Groups. In the Trading Partners section, you can add trading partners. In the Groups section, you can add processing groups. All of these are components that can usually also be created in the Components Explorer. Let's take a look at this in the Integration section. If possible, we will create these components in the Shared Components folder. This way, the components are neatly organized in one central location. Click on the three dots to open the context menu. Select New Component and click on the Type Selection field. Type Trade, TRAD, and you will see 4 components in the results list below. Trading Partner, EDI Profile, Organization, and Process Group. All items appear to be related to the topic of trading partners. At the moment, we want to create a trading partner. We will then use this component later on in Trading Partner Management. Trading Partner. The trading partner component has a selection field where you can choose the EDI format. The default setting is X12. When we click there, we see all the EDI formats that Boomi currently supports. X12, EDIFACT, HL7, Odette, Custom, Rosetta Net, and TraderComms. In this video, we will focus on the two EDI formats X12 and EDIFACT. Below that, you can choose between this is a partner that I trade with and this is my company. Since you usually only create your own company once, the this is a partner that I trade with option is set as default. However, in the first step, I would like to set up our own company. So please click on This is my company and a new trading partner component will be created. We give the component a name, for example, Data Kuhn Trading Partner, and save the component. On the left side of the Components Explorer, we now see a new item called Trading Partners. When we expand this item, we see a sub-item called My Company Settings and the Data Kuhn Trading Partner. But now back to the Data Kuhn Trading Partner component on the right hand side. Here we have a total of 6 tabs. Overview, X12 Standard, Contact Info, Communication, Archiving, and Where Used. In this video, we will focus on the following items: Overview, X12 Standard, and Communication. In the first tab, Overview, we see the classification of the component. Here, this is my company. Here, we will configure ourselves our own company. The EDI standard format X12 is pre-selected here, as we have previously set this EDI format. It cannot be changed here, as the item is grayed out. We now enter the identifier that is also used in the X12 message. Let's fill in the identifier with an example value. To be precise, this is the sender identifier, our company sender ID, which we use to send messages to a trading partner. The trading partner, in turn, has its own identifier, the receiver identifier. So enter our sender identifier here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 0, 0, 1, 7, 1, 7. Please note the restrictions that apply to the identifier for the respective EDI format. X12, for example, limits the identifier to 15 characters. This applies to the so-called ISA segment. In the next step, we select an organization. Here, we create our organization. To do this, click on the plus sign and the organization component will appear. Here, we assign a name. For example, Data Kuhn Organization, and save the component. For the demo, we will fill in a few fields and save again. EDI support Data Kuhn. Email address would be edi-support@datakuhn.com. and then we have a phone number. Back to the trading partner component. Let's take a look at the next tab, X12 Standard. Before we do that, let's quickly copy the identifier. We now see three areas in the X12 Standard tab. ESA identification options, ESA version control options, and GS version control options. In the first tab, ESA identification options, under interchange ID, we now change the qualifier from the default value 01 minus dunce to ZZ minus mutually defined. We now fill in the ID field with the value we copied earlier. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 0, 0, 1, 7, 1, 7. In the next section, ESA version control options, we set the test indicator to T minus test. In the last tab, GS version control options, we will set the application code to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 0, 0, 1, 7, 1, 7, and the GS version to 0, 0, 5, 0, 1, 0. Now we can save the Datakun trading partner. Now let's take a look at the last tab, communication. Here we will add a communication method. Click on Add Communication Method. A selection field for the communication method will appear. The default value is AS2. If we click on the selection field, we will see an overview of all communication methods. AS2, disk, FTP, HTTP, MLLP, OFTP2, and SFTP. In this video, we will focus on AS2 and OFTP2. We accept the default setting AS2 and click on OK. Now, another configuration window will appear. Here, we can edit our AS2 configuration. I will go through the most important points with you. Basically, we can set up AS2 connections with certificates. That means that the AS2 connection is secure, or without certificates. That means that the connection is unsecured. For this test, we will now set up an unsecured AS2 connection. I will show you how to set up a secure AS2 connection in a separate video. We have a total of 6 configuration areas. 1. Identification information. 2. Default partner send settings. 3. Default partner identification information. 4. Default partner listen options. 5. Message options. And 6. Message disposition notification options. First section, identification information. AS2 ID, the ID that will identify my company in an AS2 from or AS2 to header. First and foremost, the AS2 ID is not the identifier that we entered in the X12 standard tab. The identifier refers to the EDI format used. The AS2 ID refers to the EDI transport protocol. Here is the image again as a reminder. AS2 ID in the EDI transport protocol and the identifier in the EDI format. We can come up with the AS2 ID here. For example, datakun underline AS2 underline test. We can leave all other items as they are. We will look at the AS2 server settings item in a minute. We will skip the remaining areas for now and click on Close. To view the AS2 server settings, go to Manage, Runtime Management, click on our test environment, and then on datakun test, our runtime in the cloud. There, we look at the shared web server section. To establish a connection to our AS2 server later, we need the base URL for the API requests. We copy this URL into a file. We also need the attachment instance ID. To do this, we switch to the runtime information section above. We copy the string and also save this information in a file. Now we have all the information we need for the URL to send EDI data to our AS2 server later. The complete URL is composed as follows: base URL /AS2 /attachment instance ID. For example, now return back to the integration section. So far, we have created one trading partner, our company, datakun. Then we created a corresponding AS2 communication method. Now we would like to create another trading partner, this time from the category "This is a partner that I trade with." This can be a supplier or a customer. In general, we refer to this as an EDI partner, or here at Boomi, we refer to it as a trading partner. Let's get started. We create the new trading partner in order in the folder Shared Components. To do this, we click on New Component and select Trading Partner. We leave X12 as it is. And then we click on "This is a partner that I trade with," and then Create. We give the new trading partner a name, for example BMW. We then enter the identifier, for example 1234567002121. This time we leave out the organization and go straight to the X12 standard section. There, in the ISA identification options section, under interchange ID, we change the qualifier to ZZ and also enter the identifier as the ID. Under GS version control options, we set the application code and also use the identifier for this. And GS version equals to 005010. Now we add a communication method. Select AS2 and click OK. Under Communication Settings, we select the item Configure Specific Settings. There we enter the following AS2 ID: BMW _AS2 _test. Leave all other items as they are and click Close. Then we can save the new trading partner. In the next step, I would like to test the EDI reception via AS2. To do this, I create a folder give it a name, demo AS2 for example, and then I create a process. Here I will configure the trading partner as the type. Here under my standards, I will add a standard for my company. That would be X12 and our DataCoon trading partner. Here, add an individual trading partner to the list. That would be also X12 and our BMW trading partner. Click OK. And then here I will just add some stop steps to connect with the branches. Here we have the 3 branches: documents, acknowledgements, and errors. And for now I will not further explain these branches, but later on I will explain what these branches are for. Save it. Now I give it a name. Demo receive EDI via AS2 for example. Save this one. Now it's very important that we deploy this process, and therefore we create a package component. Next, details. Just copy the component name, give it a version 10. Then we can deploy the package to our test environment. Deploy. Then we can view the deployments and also quickly check on the runtime management. Under deploy process, we see our deployed process, and what's also important is that now we have a listener, listener that waits for our AS2 messages. I have prepared a test message X12 850. That's in purchase orders, and I would like to show you this message. Here in the first line, you can see the identifiers of the trading partners in the ESA segment. Here, for example, the BMW with identifier 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 0, 0, 21, 21. Here in the role of the customer. And here you see the DataCoon with identifier 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 0, 0, 1, 7, 1, 7 in the role of the supplier. The same identifiers can also be found in the GS segment. And in addition, you will find the application code, the responsible agency code, and the GS version. When the listener receives the EDI message, it will read these values and compare them with the values in the trading partner. If Boomi finds a match, the data will be received accordingly. If no match is found, the data will be rejected. And we will demonstrate this later. For this purpose, I also have prepared a second message that contains unknown identifiers. Let's start with the demo. So how do we best send this message? I wonder if we can send the message to ourselves. In Boomi, you use the so-called AS2 Client for this purpose. Just let's try if this works. AS2 Client. For this experiment, I will create a new process. No data. Give it a name here. Demo. Send EDI via AS2. Then we will create the AS2 client component. And have a stop step here. Now we can configure the the connector step. AS2 client. First we need to create a connection. We have this name demo AS2 client connection. As URL we need the URL that we created before. This is an example. That's it. Just need the URL that's pointing on our own AS2 server in this case. And then we have the send action and we need to create a new operation for this. Here we just give it a name and then we fill in the AS2 from ID. In this case, we simulate that BMW sends us a purchase order, so their AS2 ID is used, and as AS2 ID we use the DataCoon AS2 ID. For the rest we have a look at the request MDN. We don't need that for now. And I think we are good now. BMW AS2 test, DataCoon AS2 test. And that's it. It's pretty easy to configure this AS2 client. Well, parameters we don't need any. So let's click OK. And then of course we need the message that we want to send to ourselves. So we create a message here and connect it with the AS2 client, and for this message I will use the message I showed you before. Just quickly give it a name, X12 850 purchase order, and this is the version that should work. It's okay. So, and of course links to the sample files are in the description of this video. So we just copy the message, and I think I will use a variable for this message. Okay. Save it. And now we will run the test. And I don't know about the result. I'm curious what the result will be. So we select our runtime. It would be our test environment, the Datacun test. Click OK. And then let's see what happens. So test execution was successful. Now let's have a look at the process reporting. No, it didn't work, but why did not work? Let's have a look at the error message. Found ST segment, it says, but no functional group. GS has been defined. Found ST segment, but no functional group has been defined. And I'm pretty sure that there was a GS segment or group. Let's have a look. You know what? Maybe it's a problem that I used a variable here. So I just copy the message here in this field. So we don't use a variable here. And let's see if this makes a difference. I think in the next episode I will send the message from an external EDI system to our Boomi system. But for now, just to quickly test, my idea was to use the Boomi itself. You see here now it worked. Yeah, just by having the message in the messages field. Okay. Then next test is I use the message that has the unknown identifiers, so that the reception of the message should not work. Yeah. So it's not OK message. Then here I will copy the not OK message. I'll just quickly check something is wrong. I think I forgot to modify the receiver ID. So it's all the same currently. I think I will modify the receiver ID here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think I will just reverse it. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, 0, N OK, and I will copy that value to the GS segment also. I'll just remove this one and paste the new identifier here, then I will copy the whole message and paste it in the message field. Click OK. Connect it to the AS2 client. Maybe auto arrange it, save it, and then we can test this one here. So of course it will send the message successfully, but my expectation is that when we look into the process reporting, that there will be an error. Yeah, EDI not processed, sending partner does not match. Sender, qualifier, application code, receiving partner does not match. Yeah, that's exactly the result that I wanted to have. Okay, that was the AS2 client. Next steps. In episode 11, we will have the following agenda: introduction to certificates, set up and test secure AS2 connections, set up and test secure OFTP2 connections, basic EDI message chain, and processing groups. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next episode.